Elite Facts presents...
Are you scared of clowns? Well, here are 7 stories that will scare the crap out of you.
7.
Frederic Zazabe. So Frederic Zazabe was a Czechoslovakian clown who moved from his homeland to Liverpool during the Edwardian era. He spent the remainder of his life in Liverpool until the day he tragically committed suicide. It's been reported, however, that his ghost remains behind to haunt unsuspecting children. In December of 2002, 13-year-old Thomas and his younger brother Aaron were awakened in their bunk beds by what seemed like an echoing laughter. They soon opened their eyes to see a hair-raising apparition standing in their doorway. The two brothers state that this effigy was dressed in a one-piece maroon suit. The ghostly clown had one hand on its belly and the other pointing directly toward the terrified children as it taunted them. His face was apparently even more bizarre, as the two kids described him as having a long, crooked nose, hollow eyes like that of a skull, and heavy makeup, making the clown completely unrecognizable. Both witnesses also stated that a disgusting aroma was emanating from this effigy. The two witnesses said that it had a sickly, sweet smell. It accompanies Zazabe's ghost anywhere it goes. Many have speculated that this repulsive odor is in fact embalming fluid. Really freaky stuff.
6.
The Cold Case Clown. Now this is something straight out of Batman the Killing Joke. Anyone who's read that comic will know exactly what we mean. So on May 26, 1990 at 10:45 a.m. in Wellington, Florida, Marlene Warren opened her door to find a bulb-nosed clown holding a bouquet of red and white flowers and 2 balloons, one emblazoned with a picture of Snow White. The clown shot her point-blank in the face, and she died at the hospital 2 days later. Warren's teenage son saw the clown run to a white Chrysler LeBaron and escape, never to be found. According to Palm Beach County Sheriff's spokesman Bob Farrell, he states that, quote, "This is the strangest thing I've seen in all my 19 years in law enforcement." Warren's husband, Michael Warren, was a prime suspect in the crime. Police searched his office at a West Palm Beach car dealership and found evidence that he'd tampered with odometers, but nothing that directly connected him to his wife's murder. However, a suspected affair and 5-figure life insurance policy did look very suspicious. As it turns out, Michael Warren was romantically involved with a female employee. The flowers and balloons delivered before Marlene Warren's murder were purchased at stores near the love interest's apartment, and costume shop employees tentatively identified her as the woman who had purchased the clown costume the same day as the killing. Neither was charged in the murder, and the case remains unsolved.
5.
Klutzo the Clown. Amon Paul Carlock Jr. was a popular Christian clown from Springfield, Illinois. He was more famously known as Klutzo the Clown. His full-time job was to entertain countless Sunday school kids who would even travel to orphanages from countries like Mexico and the Philippines to entertain them as well. The fact that the entertainer was a former minister, magician, police officer, and youth counselor made people believe that he was in the business for all the right reasons. Seems like a good guy, doesn't he? Well, not quite. Carlock was yet another deranged person donning a clown costume. In June of 2007, Carlock arrived at the San Francisco International Airport after working as a clown at an orphanage in the Philippines. Because he just came from a country known to be high risk for sex trafficking, Carlock was stopped by immigration authorities and was taken in for questioning. As it turns out, Carlock had nude photos of young boys, some of whom were not aware that they were being photographed. All of these photos were found on his laptop and his camera. A search warrant was then issued, and at least 21 child pornographic movies were recovered from Carlock's home. 3 boys from House of Joy also came forward, revealing that Carlock had molested them. Klutzo the Clown gave his alibis, of course, but nothing saved him from multiple child porn charges, unless you count death. Carlock died after being tasered by a security officer.
4.
The Clown Statue. Okay, so here's one that kind of lies on the border of real and fiction. The clown statue is a very popular and very creepy story first popularized by chain emails several years ago. Legend has it that a teenage girl was hired as a babysitter by a rich couple somewhere in California. The parents left the kids with the babysitter while they went out for a late, luxurious dinner date. Before going out, both parents decided to give the babysitter freedom to watch TV in another room just so she could have a break from looking after the kids. Babysitter did as she was told, but found the life-sized clown statue displayed in the room just too disturbing, so she decided to call the owners up before doing anything with it. When asking if she could throw a blanket over the statue for the night, the couple immediately asked her to call the authorities because they didn't have a clown statue. Different versions of this story have slightly different details, but the moral is always the same. Be terrified of clown statues.
3.
John Wayne Gacy. Okay, so we all know this guy's story. If you don't, then let us tell you why this is one of the big reasons people are so damn scared of clowns. So John Wayne Gacy is undoubtedly one of America's most notorious serial killers. Before he was caught, he was an established community leader. He was named the Springfield, Illinois Man of the Year in 1964 by a local group, and he performed as a beloved children's clown, Pogo. Sounds like a stand-up guy, right? Well, back to the murder case. Gacy was first arrested on sodomy charges in 1968 after the father of a 15-year-old boy Gacy had hired to do odd jobs around his home told authorities that Gacy had forced his son into doing disturbing sexual acts. Gacy received a 10-year sentence but was released after 2 years due to good behavior and given 12 months probation. During his time in prison, Gacy's first wife filed for divorce as any normal woman would. After eventually being released in 1970, he relocated in Illinois, and it was there that he would find and marry his high school sweetheart. After setting into the new community, Gacy began a contracting business, before finally creating the character Pogo the Clown. This character became a popular figure at birthday parties and at the children's hospital. His second wife filed for divorce in 1975 after he admitted he was sexually attracted to young men. Between 1972 and 1978, he tortured, raped, and murdered at least 33 boys. Gacy was convicted of 12 murders and sentenced to death on March 13, 1980. He was executed by lethal injection on May 9, 1994.
2.
The Harlequin. The Harlequin is often described as an androgynous creature with wide-open, dark eyes, long limbs, and an extremely white complexion. In most cases, they only appear to children as young as 5 or 6 years old, and according to author Brad Steiger, they are real. Dan Mitchell, who at the time of his first encounter with the Harlequin was only 5 years of age, described the creature as very thin and exuding a, quote, damp, fresh smell like summer rain. It also has a sinister laugh, giving chills to anyone who hears it. But Karen Davis says that her sighting of the Harlequin was far less terrifying. She says that she woke up one night only to see a Harlequin sitting on the foot of her bed. Again, during both incidents, the Harlequin appeared harmless. So this is yet another myth with different interpretations.
1.
Copycat pogos. Okay, so as it turns out, John Wayne Gacy's rampage didn't end with his inevitable demise. Private Detective Bill Borsch believes Gacy's victims didn't stop at number 33. Raffle Tovar, an Illinois detective, claimed that he once asked Gacy about the whereabouts of his other victims. Gacy's only sarcastic reply was, quote, "That's for you guys to find out." Another detective also discovered that Gacy traveled to between 15 and 20 states in the 1970s. This data opens up the possibility that there might be other bodies buried somewhere else, but to this day, none have been found. And that's our list. Did we leave out any terrifying clown stories that you know about? Let us know in the comments below. Please remember to subscribe and tap the bell button to be notified when new videos are uploaded. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more elite facts.